Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Tune In Tuesdays. This is season 2, episode 20 of the Patriettes podcast. Wow, ladies.
Hi, everyone.
We live stream from the America First Warehouse every Tuesday night at 7:30 p.m. Thanks for joining us. We've got lots to talk about tonight. Oh, guys.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Stuff. I can't wait.
Some unbelievable things in the news.
Well, there's always so much going on, and to cover it all, we would need a whole week's worth, right, of shows.
we need a full day.
Yeah.
I mean, and they even said, of course, I got to bring this to Trump, but they were saying the other day, like, they get home from Saudi Arabia. He was Sunday back in the White House in the Oval Office working all day. I'm like, Patriots don't stop.
Nope.
Don't stop.
He saw
Never
his
stop.
grandson for maybe 3 minutes,
That's
and
right.
then
It's work time,
back
kiddo.
in the Oval Office.
So it's like, he gives us so much to be able to talk about, which is awesome.
Yeah.
The world gives us a lot to talk about. I mean,
Amen.
Yeah. Well,
not just Trump. Now we got
Joe
Biden to talk about.
back in the headlines.
Well,
you
thank
know-
you all, because you're giving us a lot of content to have a show for.
Well, the news cycle, as things start to change, they have to, bring about more stories.
That's right.
Yeah.
So the
No
big
doubt.
news with Joe Biden.
He's got prostate cancer. Yeah.
Not just prostate, metastatic prostate cancer.
You know what? Also, so they say.
I kind of, I'm on the fence, honestly.
Yeah.
I
I
don't know.
believe he has
Show
it.
me.
I
Show
believe
me.
he's had it for a very long time.
But you know what? Obama, Trump, who was before Obama?
Clinton.
Clinton. Like, you could get their medical records. They're public. Why can't you get Joe Biden's medical records?
I didn't know you couldn't.
You can't
Because
get
some
his
people think
medical
he's already
records.
dead.
I was going to go there. Oh, yeah, she went there for me, but I'm from Tin Hat just got...
That's why I said some people,
I
not
was so close to say... I'm some people. Some people.
The many masks of Joe
Should
Biden.
we do the?
So what's been pissing me off though? Everyone, all conservatives and our kind of people coming out and being like, we're so sorry to hear that.
Nope.
Let's be honest. I'm not sorry to hear that.
I'm not
Are
either.
you guys sorry to hear
No.
that? Like, I'm not an evil person either. I just think if you're a bad person, I'm not sorry if
Listen,
karma eventually catches up to you.
I made a new, thought process for myself over the last few years. Once you harm children or you're treasonous to this country, I don't care. You lose everything
Yeah.
to me. He raped his daughter. He sniffs children. I don't
Well-
care what happens. God is going to take care of it, and he is. And I'm just here to watch.
Look at Allie Carter. A lot of people don't even know who Allie Carter is,
I
right?
know.
Just go on Twitter and look up Allie Carter, and then come talk to me, and then tell
I
me
know.
if you feel sorry that he has prostate cancer, because I don't, and I'm not a bad person.
So I'll just say what I said when the Pope died. Lord, I bless
Yes.
you. I hope you bless the heart of the Pope accordingly. Like he'll do it
Yeah.
accordingly. Do your
Yeah,
work.
do your
accordingly.
thing.
He'll
Do your
judge.
thing.
and I'll let you handle it.
That's right.
And I will say though, I don't feel bad for him. I never did, even with the dementia. Even though I had a soft
Yeah.
heart for that because I've cared for dementia patients.
So have I. Yep.
I still think though how disgusting it is elder abuse to like your family is like playing along. They're allowing you to be the laughing stock of the world, to be the leader of the free world, and the president of the country, and you're not.
But I think also now
Healthy.
we know why he never came out of the basement, even in the White House, right? If he's this sick,
If he's been sick.
yeah, then it makes sense.
So
It
it's-
totally makes sense
it-
why he wouldn't come out of the basement.
Absolutely.
It leads to so many questions because, when you're listening to doctors talk about metastatic cancer, prostate cancer, it doesn't metastasize in 6 months' time.
No, it's slow.
This is something
Yeah.
that's an ongoing, long growing process. And
Yeah.
it has
Donna-
been going on for
Donna,
years.
do you know, because you're a nurse, like how long something like that takes to metastasize? Do you know the
Well, I
answer?
will say that the COVID shots have created cancers to go really rapidly, and the mRNA in them, and it changes things. So, I don't know for
Yeah.
prostate cancer
Did he
specifically.
really have the COVID shots?
That's
Who
what I was
knows?
just thinking.
But I also don't know where it's metastasized to. Like
They
what is
said
that?
his bones.
To his bones.
Yeah,
Oh,
which-
yeah.
yeah.
That takes a bit of time, and you'd be thinking that he'd be being watched at his
Yeah.
age for prostate cancer, but maybe it was something
But
he dealt with in
if
the past.
it metastasized, then it's even still though. I'm sorry, I had to mute the control room. They're really like I have enough voices in my head to hear the control room talk. Too many voices talking to me at once. Okay. don't even know what I was
Sometimes we
saying.
want to yell at them mid,
But right,
mid-show.
true. They're
Well,
like my kids. But no. Well, what I was just if it metastasized, it means it had to start somewhere. So they didn't catch
Yes.
that. You're the
Correct.
president.
Right.
Yeah.
So where's the beginning stages
Yeah.
of this whole diagnosis? And I think I was mentioning back in in our dressing room, aka my office, and the conference room.
So fancy.
But so somebody asked Carolyn Levitt yesterday. One of the reporters was like a little passive aggressive, like, is President Trump concerned now that the White House, the doctors of the White House didn't get Biden's diagnosis right? And she was like, no, we have our own doctors.
Yeah.
We got good doctors at Walter Reed, right?
Yeah.
And we're good. Like,
Yeah.
we're not, Trump doesn't play around. Like, the guy has gold toilet bowls. You think he has a bad doctor as the president? Like, no.
No.
And honestly, from men, they start getting their PSA checked
Oh, early.
like when they're
that's-
50 years
Especially
old.
when you have a hot
know.
young wife who's like
Yeah.
28 years younger than
Well,
Oh, Lord have
okay, so
mercy.
Dr. Jill Biden, why didn't she pick up on this?
Well, she's just a.
she's not a real
I don't want to say a
doctor.
just. We know she's a PhD. Okay.
She's not a
Dr.
real doctor.
Jill.
I do want to say, for me,
She's going to give us the godly look now. Go ahead.
I do not like to see anyone suffer. And I don't care who you are or what you've done in this life. I don't like to see people suffer, but I do appreciate and want righteous justice. And I think, some of the things that we all are feeling are coming from that righteous justice and righteous anger
Yeah.
space. And I think it's important to note that that's really where that's coming from. Not this, so much of vindictive.
Like
No,
how you
but-
look.
no.
Right.
I love that Donna always brings me back down
I
to
know.
like a
I
different
know.
perspective. And you're
I
right.
know, but then when I look at like the old woman who was a J6er that had cancer that he threw in jail, and I
Yeah.
look at the woman who was at the abortion clinic who had cancer and
Yes.
he threw
Threw
in
her in
jail.
jail.
Or how about pardoning
I-
Michael Bird who killed Ashley Babbitt?
I cannot feel bad.
I
I'm
don't- I
I'm
don't.
sorry, and maybe that's that righteous anger.
It is.
I'd
It
like
is.
to think it is.
I think so.
And it's very, it concerns me because, the Robert Hur tapes just came out on Friday, and which demonstrate, we had gotten the transcript of him testifying, and doing his deposition under oath, months and months and months ago, and everything was perfect. It was, but then he couldn't take him into,
Right.
go further along the process of, prosecuting because he came off as an elderly man who was, weak
yeah,
and he wouldn't
yeah.
make it through a trial and blah, 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 blah. Now you hear the actual answers that he's giving to the questions, and he didn't make any sense at all. So Jake Tapper's book is coming out today. I believe it was released about how it was covered, how, this dementia that he clearly had issues with were, I don't know if it was held back or if they weren't aware of it. And
Well, they always have redacted information when it comes
yeah,
to
it just strikes me as very coincidental that this all is coming about in the news cycle as soon as those tapes. How many of you heard about those tapes?
Yeah, but right now they're
Yeah.
we're the
How
poor
often-
Biden right now. They're trying to get everybody on the
they're
on
changing
emotions.
and they're altering the narrative, and
Yeah.
that's how they do this.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
Well, I don't feel bad. Sorry, not sorry. Yep. I'm
I'm with
sorry.
you,
The
Shan.
I don't feel
I don't
bad
feel bad
the
either.
same way I wouldn't feel bad for a pedophile going through a wood chipper.
That's how I feel. Once you harm a child or you're
Yep.
treasonous to this
Yeah.
country, I was never for in our rallies and protests showing up at someone's house. I'm like, I don't do that. Everybody deserves their privacy. No, if you harm children and you're treasonous to my country, you don't deserve shit.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
that's
Well,
right.
speaking of
Sorry.
We're in rare form tonight.
Speaking of pedophiles and harming children, Cash Patel and Dan Bongino came out yesterday. Your favorite, your boy Dan. Sorry, Angie, I'm not thrilled with your boy Dan right now.
Yeah, we're not loving
I
it.
have theories too.
Well,
Go
so
ahead, you
they
go
actually
first.
we gave the control room a cut. Can you guys pull up cut one?
You said Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide. People don't believe it.
Well, I mean, listen, they have a right to their opinion, but as someone who has worked as a public defender, as a prosecutor, who's been in that prison system, who's been in the Metropolitan Detention Center, who's been in segregated housing, you know a suicide when you see one, and that's what that was.
He killed himself. You want me to? I've seen the whole file. He killed himself.
I know it's hard work.
So he saw the file.
I don't.
Guys, I mean,
The file?
Okay, so I
they
don't.
were
bel-
both screaming in the beginning. He didn't kill himself,
So-
and now all of a sudden,
Well, Cash said in an interview a few months back, I wish I could say it right. Basically, he said like everything you think we're looking for right now isn't really what you should be looking for right now.
Right.
Well, and he said you're asking the wrong question.
You're asking the wrong
You're
questions.
asking the wrong
Right.
question.
Exactly.
I don't think Bongino and Cash would blatantly lie. However, and I want to say that about Trump, I do think in the positions that they're in right now, with the current like state of how things just were in the 4 years leading to now, I don't really want them to tell us everything just yet. If it's going to put us in some like they're in such a critical stage right now.
Yes.
Yeah, but a flat out lie. I don't know.
I can't see Cash or Bongino flat out lying like that.
He said, I read the file.
They
He
were,
killed
they were
himself.
so quick
So-
to say it though after they read the file when they were convinced otherwise for how long? No?
But do you see their demeanor?
Well, Bongino looked a little
is-
weird there. He looked
they're-
uncomfortable,
yeah,
Bongino,
there's
not
something-
Cash, but
There's
Bongino did.
something that's
Something's off about it.
Yeah.
And,
And
we may find
who's-
out. We
who-
may not.
And who's to say that there's nothing further down the line that they're leading up to, and they
Yeah,
have
but-
to keep this.
Cash promised transparency. Didn't he not promise us transparency? Didn't he say the American people deserve it?
Yes, he did.
So
We want to see the evidence that you're seeing. That's really, we want to be able to formulate our own
Yes.
opinions. I think we're past the point of trusting anyone
Yeah,
for just
that's
by
the
their
problem.
word.
And we shouldn't.
And
We
we shouldn't
shouldn't.
because as we've all figured out, no one's coming to save us.
That's
we
right.
need to save
well,
ourselves.
there's one person that
Yeah.
might come save us one day, but
God
that's
alone.
not. He'll
God
decide.
alone.
Yeah.
God alone.
Yeah.
But we are going to go to commercial break in a second
Yep.
and bring on a very awesome guest. But in the really quick before we go, I want to just make note of can the control room cut to the wide shot to the paintings behind us, please? These are Elena Ruseva's Freedom. Why did I forget the name just now?
I don't know.
Free America collection. Just went off. Wow. Wow today. Free America collection. We have the beautiful Donald Trump and the First Lady Melania. If you like her artwork, you can visit us at the warehouse or go to magalangelo.vip. And if we can bring up Kevin Downey Jr. Wow, they're ahead of me tonight. Good job, control room. Kevin Downey Jr., our good friend on his radio show and live from Studio 6B. Catch him on LI News Radio 103.9, Long Island. And you'll love his show. We'll be right back.
I told you this was crazy. I'm out of here.
No lies. Free stuff for all.
Not to be such a downer.
You bow to the master staff. Come to me. Oh my God, this guy's from Jersey.
Hi, how you doing? Fuck up my stage.
I'm pretty sure I'm a woman. No, you're not, Steve. Oh! Oh!
Wet on my side. Now instead of a poke, you're getting a smack.
What have I done?
Are you a musician, comedian, actor, filmmaker, or artist who stands for traditional American values? Do you believe in the preservation of our nation, our culture, and our freedoms? If you share our passion for America and want to use your talents to make a difference, we want to hear from you. Our mission is clear. Through the arts, we uphold the principles of freedom, faith, family, and the American spirit. It's time to step up to the mic and make your voices heard. So contact us at AmericanConservativeArtists.com.
The dehumanizing rhetoric of Adolf Hitler, Donald Trump's language, mirrors this directly.
Well, Hitler was duly elected.
Let's deal with Hitler, okay?
I don't think it's hyperbolic to say that is Mussolini Hitler-like language.
You say Nazi enough times, someone's going to actually have the guts to do it.
Donald Trump would invoke Adolf Hitler.
What percentage of this event happening was due to Donald Trump's rhetoric?
Don't miss Trump next time.
What do you make of the excess deaths?
None of us, not the president, not those hypothetical guys in the smoky rooms fully know what's going on, but we can speak about the unfolding of recent history with certainty.
Donald Trump is an existential threat to our democracy.
That is not how it works. That is a threat to democracy.
No. No.
You anti-Semitic piece of...
When you make it difficult for people in their lives,
they lose their ideological bullshit.
Free fries when you get vaccinated? Mmm. Vaccination.
Hi, welcome back to the Patriettes podcast. We have a good friend of mine with us tonight, Jim Gale, via Zoom. He's zooming in from Florida. Hi, Jim.
Hey, so good to see you.
Nice to meet you.
Hi, Jim. So good to see you and hear your voice again. It's been a while.
Love that shirt.
Yeah. So, Jim, I'd love for the audience to learn about you and all of the incredible things you've been doing over these last many years. So give us a little background and where you came from, how you landed where you are, and what you're doing now.
All right, sounds good. Well, what got me here ultimately is failure and desperation. So, real quick backstory. I had a mortgage company that did real well, 1.3 billion in revenue. I sold it. I moved to Costa Rica, and I red pilled hard. That's a great story, but I want to get to the real good stuff. So I'm going to skip that story for now. And when I red pilled, I had my first two daughters at that time, and I went into a period of fear because it was obvious that the way we're using our resources and the way this evil psychopathic system is controlling our minds and therefore our actions, I recognize that I might not have the ability to have grandkids if this continues. So I went through this period of studying the problem, and I'm an optimist by my nature.
Yes,
you
are.
So I went into this kind of pessimistic mode for a while. And I read Bill Mollison's quote. He's the father of permaculture, which is an agricultural design science. It's actually a freedom science. And he said, though the problems of our world are increasingly complex, the solutions remain embarrassingly simple. And I started to sob, and I dedicated my life at that moment to exploring and testing and demonstrating the solutions. And then asking questions obsessively around how we achieve mass adoption of taking the poisons out and using our resources wisely. And that has led me to here now talking to you wonderful ladies.
Yeah,
Awesome.
love it.
Yeah.
Amazing background. So you started in Florida with Food Forest Abundance, right? How many years ago was that?
That was 4 years ago.
So tell us a little bit about Food Forest Abundance and the incredible Galt's Landing.
Yeah. So Food Forest Abundance. So I had invested everything I had, which was about $20 million at the time, in net worth, into the solutions. I built communities in Costa Rica, and my goal was to show what a successful community could be like. And every step of the way, I was met with roadblocks that were inconceivable to me at the time. Like when we were very successful in Costa Rica, the government came at me and said, pay us $20,000 in cash or we're going to shut down your development. It created a whole wave of problems. And I learned right then the government is not my friend.
Jim, I'm sorry. Can you just move closer to your mic? I think we.
Oh, how's that? I don't know if it's my mic.
Nope.
I think it might be on.
Maybe if the control room can put on the
Control
house.
room, can you put him overhead so we can hear him? We lost
How's
him in our
that?
ear.
Testing.
Now we're hearing you.
Yep. All right. So I learned back then that the government is not my friend. And fast forward to 2019, I opened up a business at a mall. I had invested everything. I borrowed 50 grand to build a kiosk. And I turned it into a living kiosk, demonstrating plant medicines and all natural things. And it was kicking ass for like 3 months. And then COVID, the government, which is really, we know that story.
We know.
Caused the pandemic.
It shut down. I was desperate. I was broke. I had bills to pay, and I didn't have a job. And this is so fundamental, my friends. For the first time in my life, through the pain and suffering that I was experiencing, something happened where I let go of the fear. And I stepped into the energy of faith intentionally. It kind of happened
Losing Jim
outside of
again.
my awareness of it. Like I intended it, but it.
Can we
it
get
was
him on
bigger.
overhead?
What was that?
They're trying. They're having trouble up there.
All right. I'll keep testing. Is that good?
We hear you again now.
Sorry.
Maybe
yeah.
stay in that position.
Yeah, stay in
Don't
that-
move. Don't blink. Don't
Stay
move.
close.
Don't breathe. Just.
All right. It might, anyway, I'll just keep going and we'll get what we can get.
Yeah.
So at that point, I wrote Del Bigtree a letter. And I said, Del, I have the solutions. We have the solutions. They're all over us. It's called nature.
Yeah.
When we utilize and become the stewards of our land again, which is biblical, it's logical, it's scientific, it's joyful, it's healing, it's in every way good. And he loved it, and then did a show called Creating Abundance in Your Backyard, which can be seen on all sorts of places now. And we went from a tiny little team of people just getting started to global recognition.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
So-
we went through so many trials and tribulations, learning and adapting and saying, okay, that's not working. How about this? That's not working. How about this? And for the first time ever, right now, in the last 2 weeks, it feels like everything is land.
Nice.
It's a beautiful thing.
That makes
And
me
the
really happy to
team-
hear.
Yeah, thank you so much. The team that has come together to support this are the most powerful world changers with solutions in everything from trauma healing, soil healing, like Joe Salatin's one of our partners, and Rowdy Meyer, and Pat Miletich, and Theo Fleury, and Marjorie Wildcraft. All of these people are world champions in their different ways. And we're all coming together to follow Dr. Martin Luther King's advice. He said, those who love peace must learn to organize as effectively as those who are.
So this is the new group and new organization, Origins Reclaimed, right?
That's correct.
Yeah. And this is a circle of influence of experts that have come together and to broaden the horizons and the reach of what you were foundationally already doing, or correct?
It's what all of us were doing in our own little ways, and now we're coming together, organizing effectively to create this mass adoption wave.
Wow.
So let me just tell people,
what are some examples of this?
Yeah. So you have to understand Galt's Landing, right, Jim? Galt's Landing is kind of like a model landscape that Jim and his family and dear friends live on. Give us a spin around, Jim.
Okay,
in Florida.
This is in
Yes.
Florida. Yep, in St. Cloud.
Yep, and this can be done everywhere. So we have a big food forest over here. We have a cattle pasture. We're on a lake. And by the way, you don't. All you need is that much. If you just have that much land, you can literally create enough food to feed a family.
I love that.
Right. And so permaculture, for people who don't know, is really a way of growing that works with nature, not against it, right, Jim? And it's like creating a mini ecosystem so that all the plants bring the right things, push the wrong things away, and they all help each other grow and thrive in their natural environment with minimal effort, right, Jim?
That's right. A food forest lasts forever, barring a climatic catastrophe or poison. And it's a guild. A guild is a community of plants that support each other. And when you put these things in and give them a little love and stewardship, the return on time and energy invested is exponential. It's pure joy. And I can't wait to get up in the morning and go love on my yard, because the love that comes back is exponential.
And you are like the deep state's nemesis, but we love this.
This is the idea whose time has come stronger than all of the armies of the world. And I've declared my freedom about 4 years ago now. We built our family homestead without asking for permission. All these homes, we do not pay taxes on land or labor.
Awesome.
Because they're unethical, they're unconstitutional, and they're slavery. And we had a government agent come here 19 months ago. And he said, I'd like to see your building permits for this house, right? Our family homestead. And I got my camera out and I started videoing the conversation. And I said, my name is Jim Gale. And how did you get permission to come on this land? Implied consent is not granted and it's posted. And he said, my name's Alexi. And I said, well, Alexi, how are you? And he said, I'm sorry, the gate was open, so I came in, but I will leave if you want me to. which surprised me. I thought he was going to be a government jackass. And instead, he had this wonderful energy. And I said, well, before you leave, I'd like to show you something. Can you come over here with me? I walked him into the food forest, and I shared with him that it is our duty to everything we love, to our posterity, everything we love about life in this world, to protect and serve this land. And we cannot follow your agency's process. As a result, you can see every HOA community around here is a biological death zone. There's no bees or butterflies or birds. There's no food. The people are suffering. The land is suffering. The plants are dead. And it's death. So he started crying, and he said, "You're 100% right. I'll never bother you again." And the government has not been back.
Wow, Jim.
Wow. Amazing.
Incredible story. I don't know if that would happen here in New York, but in the free state of Florida, yeah, I think you guys have a better go at it. But that's a really inspiring and encouraging story. And I love how you've stepped out in faith with courage to do these things. So the audience doesn't know, my sisters here know, but and of course, Jim, you know, my youngest son, Chad, went and lived at Galt's Landing for about 8 months. And we rented one of his tiny homes there, which are available for rent. They still are, right, Jim?
Yes, they are.
Yeah. And I would encourage people to go. Are you guys still doing the...
It was beautiful too.
I remember that too. I didn't know if you were going to say it. I was going to mention it before.
Yeah.
But I didn't know if you were going to mention that his living there.
Well, it was transformational. Chad, it was healing, which he needed. And it was a transformational experience. He learned a lot. He was, mentored to different degrees. He saw a lot. He met a lot of different people doing different things in the world because, say he saw his mom red pilled. He was young. He woke up and he was really disillusioned with the world and thinking, what kind of future do I have? What can I do? So, Jim, we're going to have to cut to a commercial break, but we're going to have you right back in a couple of minutes. So audience, don't go away. Jim, we love you. We love what you're doing. Can't wait to hear more. We'll be right back.
Wonderful.
Welcome, everybody, to the Not So Newlywed Show, where 3 couples are going to compete for really great prizes. Okay, Donna, we asked Mike, who complained first on your honeymoon, you or him?
What do I think?
Yeah, what do you think?
I think he said...
Lisa, this ain't the SATs. Just tell us what... Donna, who complained first on the honeymoon?
I'm sure it was me, but I have no idea.
Donna is right.
No, it's always me.
What celebrity would you pick for a one-day pass?
For me?
Yeah, for you, not for him.
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon! Wow! Who do you hate the most on her side? That rotten no...
There are so many choices.
Thank you all, and thank you for coming out.
The Queens Village Republican Club is America's oldest Republican club, founded in 1875. Situated in President Trump's hometown in Queens, New York, we are America First MAGA Republicans, empowering fellow Republicans to get involved in the game of politics at the grassroots level. We host inspiring monthly club meetings on the first Thursday of each month at 8 p.m. For more information, please go to our website at www.qvgop.org.
In the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Huge woke front coming in.
Politicians got license to steal.
I'm pretty sure I'm a woman.
No, you're not, Steve.
What have I done? There's a killer example of a good old-fashioned public school education.
First Warehouse was really the most patriotic venue that you can ever imagine. We wanted to build something for people to be able to come to and feel so comfortable and so relaxed because there is nothing out there like it. We give an opportunity for people to really feel good about themselves and about this great country.
I just lost my whole screen.
Two.
So
Welcome back to the Patriots podcast. We're continuing on. Jim, let's pick up where we left off. We want to hear more because you are a wealth of knowledge and information. So tell us, what you're doing now. And I know you wanted to talk about MAHA and how this is such a fundamental piece, what you've been doing of the Make America Healthy Again movement.
Finally. Yeah, it sure is. So Bucky Fuller said you cannot change things by fighting the existing reality. Instead, create a new model that makes the current model obsolete. And what we're actually demonstrating is the oldest model in the book. And I had this epiphany about 2 years ago about creating a campaign that would change the world. And I wrote it down with the help of some friends. We got some AI pictures put in. And the campaign had 4 talking points. Next thing you know, 19 months ago, I find myself sitting on a couch with Bobby Kennedy. And
can we
I shared with him the MAHA tactics that will lead to, if they are spoken and adopted by President Trump and Bobby Kennedy and the like, if this happens, we will radically and rapidly change the world. If at the end of every speech, they say, and they invite the schools, the churches, and the prisons, and people that manage city parks, to take the poisons out and create classes of growing food.
Yeah.
And so as I laid this out to Bobby Kennedy, I started with the schools. And if all we did was put a regenerative agriculture class in every school, every school would become a nursery, the poisons would come out, the students and the kids would heal, and we would change the world.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, we have a cut 4, if we can pull it up. We have that pic of you just showing your there it is.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Yeah. It's the real deal, my friends. And this is when the government, which I have no faith in, but I would certainly have faith if President Trump and Bobby Kennedy started speaking this strategy, which elevates above all the war narratives. It elevates above all the BS narratives. And simply share with people to take the poisons out and grow some food in place of some of their lawns.
I think it'll come. I think they're going to come to that. Do you?
yeah.
Jim? I think they're going to.
Did that a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Well, I think
tried growing my own garden, and it was like, I loved it.
It was great.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I think that's what they feared for so many years, right? That's what they didn't want us to know.
course.
This is like the one thing they didn't want us to know and learn.
Right. And it's not always easy. Not everybody has a natural green thumb,
No,
but
yeah.
like when you understand the science of permaculture, that's why I love that. It makes it easy, and you have people to teach you and lead you. And it's very true. We need to not only teach us, learn ourselves, but the next generations need to learn, because food sovereignty, food health, you have no freedom without
Nutrients.
health. And yes,
Yes. You know,
individual and national security. It really and truly is.
And it's more
50
than just nutrients in your body and healthy. Like when I was very sick as a kid, I took up gardening. I was homeschooled and I garden. It's so cathartic. It's so healthy. It's
One with
endorphins.
God and
It's
nature. Yeah.
I don't even know if I
proven.
appreciate it as much as I do now back then, but it really looking back, it's that God made everything, like you said, is there for you.
It's there. The Garden of Eden ideal is not a utopic fantasy. It's the way we are meant to be living, right? This
Yes.
idea of abundance and food everywhere. Now, this is the fundamental strategy of control, which was spoken by Henry Kissinger multiple times. In one speech in 1974, he said, if you want to control people, control their food supply.
No.
Yep. Well,
So-
and they've also, all these elites have also been buying up water rights all over the globe, and all over our country. These are very critical issues that most people don't know about. Nobody's going around
Yeah.
talking about it. And, you are sitting in the midst of the solution, right? I do know that China also has had a stronghold, and some other nations, but China's been buying up farmland in this country, and the government is selling off even national lands, preserved lands. The agriculture has changed and shifted so much over the last decades. In 2021, China owned, I think, 384,000 acres of American agricultural land. And in COVID, they've also bought out like Smithfield and food companies, and they have a big ownership stake in General Motors. During COVID, this is a national security issue because during COVID, for an example, they started exporting the pork more to China than here when there was a shortage. So you talk about supply chains and all this stuff. The only way to correct these things are to take the control back in our own hands. And what is in all that crap that they're selling us anyway?
It's all poisonous. But this is above China. This is Black Rock, which is not only the name, it is the intention, right? And here's the good news. All we have to do is supplant 50% of our 50 million acres of lawn and turn that into regenerative edible landscape and chicken coops and so on. And then the 890 million acres of farmland that is mostly poisoned will go back to nature because there will be no use for it. There will be no market for it, right? And once we take that market back and put that power in our hands, then that's the only way we're going to win this war.
So my question that I wanted to ask earlier was, now all of these experts that you've put together, can people hire you guys to do this for them, or teach them and train them how to do this?
Absolutely. And I've donated all my assets, all my equity other than my family homestead to the council. And definitely every one of those council members has a product or service that is part of the solution to all of the biggest problems in the world. And they can be found at origins.reclaimed.org, which is a not-for-profit. It's a 508c1a. People can donate to it, and that money will go specifically to supporting the solutionaries that have the most proven best solutions in the world. And then all of our surplus will be very publicly put into regenerative agriculture solutions like food forests in schools and prisons and city parks, every one of which have an exponential ROI.
So can we, control room, pull up cut number 2, please? I think we have cut number 2 and cut number 3. This is Origins Reclaimed. These are the people. And, just a beautiful explanation of what it is that they're doing. It's really reclaiming what was always yours. I love that tagline.
Oh, I wish we could read that for the
Yeah.
radio audience. I don't have that cut in front of me.
But yeah, Jim, amazing work. So if somebody wanted to start pursuing adopting some of these practices in their own home, in their own little, even if they have a postage size piece of property and they just want to do a couple of raised beds, or they want to do, a whole full on acreage, what are next steps for these folks?
Next steps is check out the Food Forest Abundance team. They do consults. A consult is $150 for a 1-hour consult. And in 1 hour, you will learn literally everything you need to know about how to go from wherever you are now to more free than you've ever been. And then if you want to visit us, we're at galtslanding.farm. It's GALTS landing.farm here. We have the private fishing lake here. We have Food Forest, and we've got good reviews. Check it out. And then foodforestabundance.com is where you can find the designers to design your space or get a consult.
And then you have different installers, right, that have kind of gotten into this with you. I know Cameron down there is still with you guys. Yeah.
Yeah, Cameron's doing some great installs. We have installers all over. And if anybody wants to be in the business of helping their community be free, the Freedom Farm Academy model is the best model in the world. It's like this. It's living completely off grid and free, and then helping other people do the same.
Yeah.
I want to get at it.
Seriously.
I know.
I just want to read the cut 3 really quick, because on Wednesday nights we're on the radio. So I want the radio audience to know what this was. It's reclaim what was always yours. Origins Reclaimed is more than a name. It's a movement. It's about remembering the truth. This earth does not belong to the governments, corporations, or borders. It belongs to you, to all of us.
Yep.
Yes.
So
Powerful, powerful reminders. And I would encourage anybody here at this table, maybe we'll take a road trip
I
one of
was
these
just
days to
thinking that.
Florida.
It's not a
But
bad idea.
Yes.
I mean, seriously, if you're ever in Florida, it's very close to Orlando, St. Cloud. It is so worth the trip. First of all, it is just a day in peace, and you see and learn so much. And you might even just get a little glimpse of the old Jim Gale here.
Oh,
you
yeah.
might
Oh,
get to
heck
meet him
yeah.
meet him yourself.
Jim,
But,
how far from Sarasota? Like 2 hours?
About 2 hours. We're only 35, 40 minutes from the Orlando International Airport. And I love giving tours. Every tour I give, I learn something. We have a lot of fun.
My mom lives in Sarasota, so I promise the next time I'm down there, I cannot wait to come visit you.
yeah,
And
it's
stay
amazing.
for a night.
It's there you go. You stay for a
Thank
night.
you. I would
Yeah.
love.
She might not leave.
I might not leave. Right? If I find peace, I'll be a permanent fixture. I'll plant my own tree right there.
Yeah,
Love
Chad's
it.
still missing his friend, the turkey. That turkey followed my son everywhere. He
Aw,
had the cows right off
connection.
the back of his little tiny home there.
Yep.
And what a
It sounds like
peaceful way to
heaven.
wake up. Oh, yeah, really incredible. I would love to be able to do something like that in my own yard. I've got
Yeah.
chickens, Jim. So I got chickens and yeah, there it is. I wish the radio could see this, and let me just tell you too.
They could tune in and find us when they want to see the
Yes.
videos here.
Yes.
Love it.
Let me-
Minus the chemtrails.
Yeah. There's so much.
Not allowed.
You'd need days to talk to Jim to really understand everything they have going on there.
Okay, so this is part 1 of the series of Jim Gale series, we'll say.
Yeah, yeah. But
And Jim, I will say for Donna to talk about you the way she does,
Yeah.
a friend of hers is a friend of ours. She has the utmost respect, and it was exciting because she was really excited to have you on.
The
And so are
feeling
we.
is mutual. I have so much respect for what you're doing. You're leading the world to freedom. It's so important what you do.
We're a team
yeah,
with you
we
too.
are. We are. It takes all of us, right?
Yep.
And
It
it
does.
only takes a tiny minority, 10% historically, and I think we're way past 10% of the
Yeah.
globe awake and
Amen.
and doing. So we're gonna hit the tipping point, and if we haven't already. So and these things are very, very encouraging. So keep going, Jim. We'll definitely have you back to talk more about what you're doing and give us the updates. And hey, maybe we'll get Trump and Bobby to adopt some of these things.
Amen. And from time to time, film some of what you're doing, because when we bring you back on, we'll show you in action. We can show some video of whatever you think the audience needs to see. We'd be happy to share.
We're building a studio in my kitchen. We've got the former
Awesome.
head chef at Planet Hollywood's going to teach us how to cook because I don't know how yet. We've got the
They don't
former
break.
security team leader at the Pentagon for the chairman of the Joint Chiefs. is our CEO.
Amazing.
It's incredible what's
Well,
happening, y'all.
Well, thank you so much, Jim. We've got to go to break
Yep.
again, sadly, but thanks so much for being with us. We'll see you
Ciao for now.
soon.
God
Thanks.
bless you,
Bye.
Jim.
I told you this was crazy. I'm out of here.
No life. Free stuff for all.
Not to be such a downer.
For you, bow to the master staff. Come to me. Oh my God, this guy's from Jersey.
Hi. How you doing? Fuck up my stage.
I'm pretty sure I'm a woman.
No, you're not, Steve. Oh! Oh!
A little wet on my side.
Now instead of a poke, you're getting a smack.
What have I done?
Corporate transfer. Fine professional, moving and storage, and inventory management.
Welcome, everybody, to the Not So Newlywed Show, where 3 couples are going to compete for really great prizes. Okay, Donna, we asked Mike, who complained first on your honeymoon, you or him?
What do I think?
Yeah, what do you think?
I think he said.
Lisa, this ain't the SATs. Just tell us what. Joanna, who complained first on the honeymoon?
I'm sure it was me, but I have no idea.
Joanna is right.
No, it's always me.
What celebrity would you pick for a one-day pass?
For me?
Yeah, for you, not for him.
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon! Wow! Who do you hate the most on her side? That rotten no.
There are so many choices.
Thank you all, and thank you for coming out.
The first warehouse was really the most patriotic venue that you can ever imagine. We wanted to build something for people to be able to come to and feel so comfortable and so relaxed, because there is nothing out there like it. We give an opportunity for people to really feel good about themselves and about this great country.
Welcome back, everybody, to the last segment of the Patriots podcast this Tuesday night. Isn't he amazing, Jim?
That's great, yeah.
I want to learn so much more.
We have to go, you guys.
But they would never do the fact that he said he basically told that guy we're not paying taxes and get off of my property. Would that ever happen in New York?
My mom keeps trying to give me every selling point to Florida. Like, these are the things that you can, get away with in Florida.
Can you get away with that though?
I don't know what's happening, but Jim has done a lot that you would never imagine somebody doing, and he's doing. And I'm going to tell you, the homes on that property are
So it's a compound?
high end and gorgeous.
I remember you sent us pictures. I think you sent when you were there. I remember. Yeah, it looks incredible. And the old Teresa, when I wanted to go on a trip that was like New York City, that is everything I want right
I
now.
have so many more questions for him though. Like I want to know how he went from a millionaire to a
Start writing them down.
nothing heir.
Yeah.
Right?
But I think God's going to bless him.
Yeah, well, things go wrong. Things go wrong.
Yes,
yeah. and but look, it pushes you toward what is for you.
Yes,
sometimes
amen,
it's not always about the money, but
it's the purpose, like God's calling.
It's the purpose. His purpose is much bigger in this time.
And I love that he sees that, because a lot of people in his position that were successful with a business like that all they see is dollar signs and what's their next move to make money, not what's best for the people. Yeah. So
he's a visionary. Jim is a visionary, and he, hopefully is like bringing the right doers around him, because his vision is incredible.
Yeah. Well, the enemy will try to attack him. We know that. So that's,
cover them in prayer. But, it's important for the audience to understand. We have some cuts. When we talk about China owning so much of our farmland and so much interest in American companies like General Motors. And remember, they got that bailout. And, where is our money going, and what are we supporting when we go into Costco and BJ's and buy Smithfield bacon? And
I won't do it. I won't do it. I told you guys that bacon tastes like fake bacon.
Oh, that scares me. It's like, what are they putting in those pigs?
And it's a quarter of the price of all the other bacon. I told some lady the other day at the food store, she probably thought I was nuts because she picked it up, and I was like, don't buy that bacon.
I just wait for Oscar Mayer to go on sale, and I buy like 4 of them and freeze them.
I'm like, don't buy it. She's like, I know, but it's so cheap. I'm like, exactly, like, don't buy it. Like, China owns that company.
No.
And they look at you like,
and they don't, and
12
China's
heads,
not
but-
here to love us and see us healthy and well. I
Yeah.
mean, even the holistic provider we saw recently from Michael, he was like, oh, don't buy that one. You buy this brand. Don't buy it. It's made in China, and they're not our friends.
Wow.
Wow.
They don't want to see a healthy America. This is a doctor.
What city was it where we had, I think it was Michigan? Maybe it was Chicago? They had police departments, Chinese police departments.
That's in New York.
That was in New York City.
Yes.
New York City.
Nope, that was New York City.
Supposedly to watch their own people.
Yeah.
Supposedly to watch their own people. But I'll tell you, it's Jim's right. It is more than just China. It's BlackRock. It's all these huge companies and organizations that have vested interest in one thing, which is the bottom line, the bottom dollar, and investors, right? So they're not looking out for you and me.
No.
And it's the stock market that so many of us are a part of. So we have to start rethinking everything.
Everything.
Yep.
Everything. Which,
Don't buy the bacon. Sorry, I'm just going to say it again. Don't buy it.
Not
yeah.
Smithfield.
So, and you know what? Here's the thing. if you spend more money, you'll eat less. You know what I mean? You can go to McDonald's or you can buy some cheap food at the grocery store. Most of us can use to eat a little less. And if we eat healthier and it's nutrition packed, we're not going to be as hungry. We're not going to want to eat so much.
You know, you're saying that. My daughter has started meal prepping for us. Last 2-3 weeks, she'll spend Sundays. We go grocery shopping. She'll spend Sundays cooking good food.
T, you never meal prepped.
Me?
She's a meal prepper.
Angie knows I have a lot of mouths to feed.
Yeah, you do.
And every time Angie came upstairs, I was likely cleaning the kitchen or cooking for all these animals that live with me. So, good luck, ex-husband, in Nevada for 3 weeks feeding these animals.
But yeah, you're right about that, though. With when you and it's less. We're eating less, but we're spending. And we're using there's so little waste that we have.
I love that though. Doesn't it feel good when you go shopping and like you actually plan everything so you really use all the ingredients that you like when I'm in my prime, which hasn't been recently. But Ernie and I plan to meal prep. So maybe we'll join. Maybe we'll start.
Me and Donna have been planning to start going to the gym again.
So let's let's challenge ourselves at some point and document what we're doing and try to follow more on Jim's lead.
Definitely.
There.
But I do want to bring up Cut 10 because that shows you the Smithfield brands now owned by China.
Yeah.
Guys, can you bring up Cut 10? Because it's not just the bacon.
Yeah, there's a lot of companies.
There's a lot of them. There's a lot of them.
Yeah. Can we zoom in on that so we can see it or no?
Can you read a couple? Because I can't.
Look at that. Yeah, I like that better.
Let me see if I can read a couple out loud.
Farmland.
Thank you.
Yeah, and
Smithfield.
Farmland, you would think that's nice, but no.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
Yes. Cooks. Oh wow, Cook. There's a lot of them pork. I love Corando.
Well,
brand.
Do you know? But do you know what else happened though? Because they bought out Smithfields, then they ran all of the American pork farmers out of business because they were doing such volume and charging so little and paying so little. They were undercutting. So the real local farmers.
They're probably pigs that were grown in a lab.
I know. That's what I'm so grossed out about when you said fake.
Don't even laugh, Angie. I'm dead serious. Like I'm not saying that. But again, like. I 1000% believe that.
I just want the radio audience knows John Morrell, Margarita, Eckrich, Curry's, Healthy Ones, Farmland, and there's a lot more.
Smithfield
Cooks,
bacon.
Corando, Smithfield is number 1 on here.
Yeah, it is.
So I just want our audience to be able to know. This is scary to me.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So there you go. It's unhealthy. It may be cheaper, but it's not better for you. So in the long run, it costs you much more than you ever.
What's worse about this too is the particular brands that are listed here. These things are normally filled with preservatives and nitrates because it's like packaged cold cuts and things. So these things are already so unhealthy. But now that they have their hand in it, forget it. Now
God only knows what's in it.
Yeah, lab grown meat.
Ugh, that skeeves me so much.
Yeah. So changes need to happen. And it starts with us. Yeah. It starts with us and people like Jim and and say like most people wherever you live, even in cities, you can access local small farm meats and produce. You just have to seek it out. You can't just last minute run into a grocery store. It takes more planning.
There does.
Markets.
There was a pop-up place this summer that Ernie and I stumbled upon when I put all that meat in the freezer, and I researched them a little bit. This ranch, and they were very. I even asked them if they were like pro-America First, and they were. But there's a Freedom Farm upstate, which I want to do. I keep seeing, and I want to do more research because they're local in New York.
Should visit it.
And maybe I want to look into that some more.
Yeah, and there's some out east on Long Island.
Yeah,
it's worth spending the extra. You get what you pay for.
You do.
And you can buy a cow and split it amongst your. You can go in with friends and family and get your own meat that is healthy
and learn how to start growing your own food.
Even if you start with basic stuff, right?
That's what I did
just
a couple years
herbs
ago.
even.
Look at Crystal now. Like honestly, Crystal has an entire
greenhouse almost.
Yeah.
Around the dining table in the kitchen.
She usually gives me eggs, but this time I'm going to try to leave with more crops in my basket, Crystal.
She's growing to any vegetable you can think of, and she's doing such a great job. And she only started this last year.
It's amazing.
So you can learn.
I did it in buckets. I did it using
And
buckets.
you still have it going? Are they growing?
Not this year.
She was very successful last year, and I just got to reap the benefits. I was.
Yeah, that's me. That's
So
me. I'm like, oh,
she'd
you
be
got
like,
corn? Let me
There's
get some of
tomatoes
that
out there.
corn.
There. I'm like, this is amazing.
Well, and here's the thing too. Like, if you have a community of people that can do that, you
Yeah.
can say, "I'm really, I have the land or the whatever to grow corn. I'm really great with tomatoes. I'm really great," and you grow that to abundance, and you divvy up and share.
It's amazing, and it feels so good to do that. Like it's just a good thing.
You know what's going in your body, where it came from.
This is what the government never wanted us to do.
No, they don't
This
want us
is-
to pray
they-
together. They don't want us to be healthy together. They don't want us to tell truth together. And we're going to defy all of
But
that.
look at the past few years. I mean, how many people now have chickens and you never
It's
in your life have,
I'm actually seeing people on my Facebook feed like that, friends of mine from, and I'm like, wow, they're getting chickens.
they're
I'm
getting-
shocked.
everyone's getting
I'm so
chickens.
jealous. I want
We're
chickens so
starting a
bad.
garden. So I think people are waking up to it and
They
realizing, you know what?
There's something to it.
We got to learn.
Yep.
They sure are.
Yeah.
So I actually have a lot of announcements tonight. Do you guys have
Yeah.
another topic
No.
or should we go for it?
No,
Nope,
I
we're
just want to
good.
say one thing.
Yep, please do.
I don't know where it's at, and I'm sorry, but I do want people to look at HR 4368 to FY 2024. It's Agricultural Appropriations Bill. Just investigate that a little
Is
bit.
it big
I'll
and
leave you with
beautiful?
that.
Is it a big, beautiful agricultural bill?
It has some good points and some not good points. So just start educating yourself and
Yeah.
get involved.
Just Google
I
the
will
bill
look at it
number.
too.
It'll come up.
I love that.
So go ahead, on to announcements.
So we have so much stuff happening here, so I'm going to try to get this in very fast. I feel like a blah, blah, blah. Okay, so Control Room, can you cut to announcement 1, please? This is a raffle for 2 tickets to our Golden Age of America concert on June 14th, which is Trump's birthday and Flag Day. So check that out on our website. All the details are there. Live from Studio 6B is live from the America First Warehouse every Friday. However, this Friday night, we are taking a hiatus for the Memorial Day weekend, and they will resume live in studio here on Friday the 30th. So please get your tickets for that and any Friday after that. On May 31st, we have country western night line dancing, which will be taught by Callie. Should be a really fun night. So get your cowboy hats and boots and come join us that night. Finally, doing that. On June 6th, 7th, and 8th is going to be insane for a lot of us Patriots. Of course, that Friday night we'll have live from Studio 6B here. But on Saturday, we'll be starting the day in New York City, crossing over the Brooklyn Bridge for the I Need Your Freedom Rally 4.0. And there'll be great speakers. They're highlighting. It's a freedom fighters reunion for all of us who have been in this fight. For all the details are in the leader chat. You can come. You can represent your respective groups, hold your banner, reunite with Patriots. It'll be a good day.
Yeah, and the Brooklyn Bridge March is so
They are
good.
powerful.
They're
And then
powerful
they-
and
Well, let's
gorgeous.
hope a boat,
Is it
so
still
a
there?
Mexican boat doesn't hit us while we're there.
So after the Brooklyn Bridge, we will be at City Hall in the city. That's the second part of it, and then they're caravanning back to the warehouse because the next asset is be Liberty's Cage, a Justice Reform podcast with Sarah Maccabee and Shane Jenkins, and then we'll have an after party. So it's a long day, but a lot's happening from New York City all the way to out East Long Island. The next day, if I'm still awake and alive, I'm hosting a rally in Belmore. It's a we'll do a rally there. Shane and Sarah will still be in town. They'll be our keynote speakers. DVS, our good friend and a massive freedom fighter, will be performing. We're caravanning back to the warehouse again for a barbecue on that Sunday. And I will leave off with June 14th again, which is the actual flyer for the event for Trump's birthday and Flag Day. Please come down and join us. We're going to have a beautiful event that day to honor our president and our beautiful flag. Thank you.
Thanks, T.
Thank
All
you.
right. Here we go, guys, and then we're wrapping it up. Heavenly Father, we come before you with grateful hearts. Thank you for bringing so many incredible people into this world who use their gifts to not only help themselves, but others too. We ask your protection and blessing upon those who step out in faith, for these truly are the world shakers and the new earth creators. Help us continue to shine a light that guides people to real solutions instead of always highlighting problems. May we trust your guiding hand and sovereign way, knowing that your ways are always better and higher than our own. God, we also take a moment to pray for all those who are suffering or struggling, and we name tonight specifically Joe Gallo. May he and all those struggling feel your presence. May his and their every need be met. In the mighty name of Yeshua we pray. Amen.
Amen.
And I just want to add that we do want to lift Donna's entire family up in prayer tonight, because one of our sisters, Donna, is going through some hard times, and we just want to lift you and your entire family up in prayer because we love you.
Second that.
I
Thank you.
Amen.
God's got us.
Yes.
Yep.
And thank you at 47 Swag Company for giving us Joe Gallo's name. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
And if our audience has people they want to pray for going forward, reach out to
Yes.
us.
Yeah.
We will pray for them. You can email us at tpp@theamericafirstwarehouse.com. So God bless you
So,
all.
and as always, keep your faith strong, your family close, and your freedom alive.
Don't forget to catch us 9 p.m. tomorrow. iHeartRadio, Real America's Voice. We love you.
Good night, guys.
Good night, everybody.